This is Good Morning Mumbai with HrishiKay.
Badshah's in the house and the album is out. What's up? How are you?
I'm good, sir. How are you?
Excellent. I've been doing some time listening to the whole album.
Oh, wow.
You'll be very happy to hear. And it's quite unlike anything that you've done before in your life. I mean, there are some tracks, which have already been pre-released, which you've released. But it's almost as though this is a new Badshah, or maybe this is a Badshah that was already existed, but we didn't know about.
Yeah.
There's some lovely ballads in there. There's a lot of feeling in there. There's a lot of emotion in there.
Yeah.
Other than the usual stuff,
Yeah.
which you've been rapping about.
Yeah.
So is this the most personal work you've ever put out?
Yes. And also it's got like 17 songs. And initially the plan was to make an album of 30 songs. But then I had to keep those 13 songs out of the album because I think they were too personal. And I think they were too intimate for the moment. I don't know if they're going to see the light of the day, but I'm just really proud of the body of work which is lying in front of you.
It's lovely. Also, let's talk about the video for the first track, which is Heartless. First and foremost, the fact that was going to be the first track out, when you have 17 songs to choose from, or not technically, because songs like DJ Ale Babu and Mercy had already come out, but I'm saying if you had a total of 14 or 15 to choose from, why did you decide that that's going to be the video song? Was it you, the label, a combination of your ideas?
I think this is the oldest song that is on the album, and I think so in a way it was the purest form of me. This was written back in 2005 when I was in college, so I was like, this is probably the most honest and the most heartfelt song on the album. I don't care if it's lyrically great, but it's the most honest song of the album. And I had a belief in the song, and then my label had more belief in the song, I must say. And then all credit must go to the director of the video, who's Kurik. He happens to be the son of Gurdas Man Saab, and it was all his concept, all his vision.
It's quite crazy because I see the video and there's a shot when you actually walk in or somebody's in the room and there is a wall sketch of Gurdas Man Saab on the wall. And then I found out later that his son directed the video. So that was kind of like a tribute to Gurdas Man Saab. And there's also another artist on the wall.
Jay-Z.
There's Jay-Z.
Yeah.
So Jay-Z and Gurdas Man Saab together on a wall, your idea or his idea?
No, if you come to my place, that is my wall. Like I've got huge posters of Gurdas Man Saab, and then I've got Jay-Z on the other side. I think they both are great influences. They both have been great influences in my life, music as well as professional life, which is other than music, which is like my business ventures. But then again, I have a huge amount of respect for Gurdas Man Saab. It just comes out from the heart, Since I was a kid, I've been listening to him. I've been blessed to be fed his music. And then on the other side, it's Jay-Z, who's like a hustler, who's just came out of the streets and, who's become this tycoon right now. Yeah.
And the video is interesting in the sense that it opens with you in an auto having a conversation with Pariniti Chopra. And that obviously is about a Filmfare Award, which is Pariniti's. Which
Thank you so much. A lot of people haven't got it yet.
Haven't got it as yet. And, which the child, you're going to go and give it to the child. So getting Pariniti on board, you obviously had to keep a part of it, and that is actually her voice in that conversation. So talk to me about that.
Okay. Thank you so much, Pariniti, for doing this because, so I told her, I would love it if you come, if you become a part of this video. And then we decided to keep her voice and her picture and not her, which was a huge, she was like, which was a huge deal for us. And she was just kind enough. We showed her the video without her shots. We showed her the video and she was like, she was almost all in tears. And she was like, I just love to be a part of this. And then we told her, like, we need your voice, and we need the award, and we need your picture. Award actually belongs to someone else. Award actually belongs to Meher Vij, who's played
Of course.
the mother in Secret Superstar.
In Secret Superstar.
Thank you so much, Meher. So it's all a lot of teamwork. The video took like 4 months to finally come out as a proper video. Yeah.
And in that aspect, it's also a very telling comment about how the world perceives a superstar. And the fact that a superstar is considered selfish and only does stuff for hype and appeal.
Yeah.
And you want to obviously send out a strong message there saying that a lot of the stuff, and we've seen recently in the Kerala crisis also,
Yeah.
that actually, I'll give you a classic example. Rasool Pukutti was tweeting about Sonam and Shah Rukh Khan having helped in the Kerala floods.
Yeah.
And Shah Rukh and Sonam themselves hadn't done it,
Yeah.
which I thought was a wonderful gesture.
Yeah, yeah.
Talk to me about that.
See, this is something. There's something a lot of famous people go through. This is something a lot of people who are being constantly scanned, constantly scrutinized go through. See, I think a lot of people the way I've been brought up. It's like you do good, and you just keep it to yourself, because neki kar darya mein dal. And if you tell it to someone else, you've done this, you've done that, I think uske maine khatam ho jate hain. Then it's not goodness. Then it's I don't know what that is, but that's not a good thing. And I've been brought up like that, and a lot of people have been brought up like that. I mean, if you're doing good, it's awesome. You don't have to go out and tell it to the world. But then, you don't realize everything about you. People form opinions. अगर आप अच्छा करते हो, people are like, ये दिखा रहा है. अगर आप अच्छा नहीं करते, people are like, he's too selfish. Award लेने कहीं भी पहुंच जाते हैं. Can't spare 5 minutes. So, and Gurik happens to understand that very well, because he himself is the son of such a huge celebrity, Gurdas Maan, and that's the paradox, that's the dilemma of being someone who's constantly under the eye of the people. So yeah, he's addressed a lot of things in this video. He's addressed he's probably addressed the issue with the media. He's probably addressed the issue with what people think. He's somewhere touched the issue of cancer as well, probably. And that guy is a genius, I must tell you. There's a lot of layering in the album. There's a lot of layer in the video.
Have you actually done that? The video also opens with you getting off the auto, and before you climb onto the wall to go to the little child's house, you actually give your coat to somebody who's a street urchin maybe. Have you done that? Taken your expensive Balenciaga jacket and just given it to somebody on a whim, on a cold Chandigarh night maybe?
See, I'm sure you do that. I mean, if you feel for someone. I mean, everyone has a heart. It's just that if someone like a celeb, if someone like me does it, it's और यार ये बिल्कुल it's कि ये तो बिल्कुल हमारे जैसा है, या फिर ये तो कितनी बड़ी चीज़ है. But okay, Balenciaga is probably what you're wearing is expensive for someone else. Thank God I can afford a Balenciaga, and then it does not matter what you're giving out. Then you just want to take care of the other person. Yeah, I've done that. Yeah.
Very beautifully put. Okay, this girl, she's fantastic, this child artist. Who is she? And is it a pure coincidence she's also named after Astha? Because, Astha was here, the delightful kid.
Yeah.
She was here for Buzz. And all she was saying throughout was Badshah Bhaiya, this Badshah Bhaiya, that. She's lovely.
Yeah.
So,
see, again, that's all Gurik's. He likes to work in layers. I mean, even if you look at, I'll give an example. If you look at the number of the auto, that is like the complete duration of my album.
Wow, I haven't noticed that.
Yeah.
Wow.
There's a lot of things.
Subliminal messages.
I mean, even in the last shot when I keep my phone on those two books are
some paradox.
Paradox, and then the second book is my Trust with Travesty by Gigi Man. which is Gorik Gurdas Man, and there's no such book. So there are a lot of hidden messages in the video. I mean, you watch the video, every time you're going to discover something new, I'm telling you. So, and Astha, why he named Astha? Because Astha somewhere has been lucky for me. She's a great kid. I love her. And also, a lot of people were thinking that this child grows up to become Astha. I don't know why. Some weird, and just a weird coincidence. But that is all Gorik's germination.
So the kid, what's her name, and did he really find her?
Gorik Paji found her. He took a lot of auditions, so many auditions.
What eyes she has? Is she a Bombay kid, or is she from Chandigarh? Or?
I think she's somewhere her lineage is. I might be wrong. Somewhere the lineage is from Kashmir. Somewhere. I don't know. I don't know.
You get off the plane in Srinagar or Jammu and everybody looks like a Hollywood star.
Yeah, man.
Such good
I was in
people.
Srinagar just a few days ago, But then, she was a great kid. And we were looking for a kid who is beautiful, who looks weak, because obviously the girl is suffering from cancer. So, we were meeting a lot of kids who were beautiful, who were so innocent, great actors, but like they were healthy, which is awesome. But she was relatively, weak. Not weak, like the sort of character that we were looking for. And, Gorik, it's all Gorik, man.
Yeah, and also obviously, the child has to get into the character, so to get her to have a bald look, it's not easy. And the child has done a great job.
Great job. And, she's a trained actor. Not trained actor, she's acted before, so she's got an idea. But the prosthetics are like killing. You just have to sit patiently while, they make you bald. I just thank God everything came together, man.
It's also quite a contradiction that the video is about what it is, which is all heart, and the song is called Heartless.
Again, Gorik. We were calling it something else, but then so the video is full of paradoxes. So even if you notice, when I'm climbing up the wall of the hospital, my feet are on my own poster.
Correct, yeah. There's a poster of you this evening or whatever. There's a concert of yours.
I am just rubbing my feet on that poster. So there's a lot of paradox. I mean, Badshah is in an auto, and the whole concept is a paradox. Badshah is this guy, flashy guy, surrounded with girls, and then suddenly big cars. Suddenly he's in the auto, rapping to a small girl, and then he comes down, bends, Every angle is thoughtful, like, even when I'm looking at the girl from top angle, I'm intimidating her, but then I sit down, so that the atmosphere changes, and then she opens up. So it's a beautiful video that I'm just lucky to be a part of.
Please do a bit of the song for us, please.
मुझे मालूम है मेरा चेहरा तेरे दिल का सुकून है, तू भी मेरी इन रगों में बहता खून है, कहने को दूर है दिल के करीब है, पैसे का नशा भी जाने जाना एक जुनून है, तुझे कैसे मैं बताऊं तू कितनी मासूम है, मुझे पता है तू है परेशान क्योंकि मेरी पहली एल्बम पिछले 2 सालों से कमिंग सून है, पर तू हिम्मत न हार, दिल छोटा मत कर, साथ मेरे चल मेरा हाथ पकड़ कर, आंखों में तू आंसू लेके सोया ना कर, बेबी बादशाह की जान है तू रोया ना कर.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
2 years. I mean, your daughter must be what, a year and a half now?
Exactly that. She is exactly that.
That's one of the reasons why this album took some time coming, because you were busy being a dad, which is great, man. These days never come back. How's that going?
That's, to be honest, I'm not able to spend time with her now, and but then when my daughter was born, I had a different thought. I almost all left music. There were situations, and I was in a different mind space. Not because of my daughter. I love her, and she's been a support. But something happened after Mercy. I just took a break, and I was off social media. I deleted my Instagram. I don't know what happened after Mercy, and the only thing on my mind was my daughter and my family. But I don't know why, but there was a lot of negativity surrounding me at that point of time after Mercy, even though it became the hugest hit, and I'm really proud of the sound that I made. But something was not right. I don't. it could be the stars, it could be just the planets, it could just be my own mind.
So it wasn't as though something happened, Badshah. It's just one of those things. You wake up one fine day and you feel I need to disconnect.
I woke up one day and I was negative. I was so negative. Oh, okay. So I've suffered through depression in 2012. I thought those sort of things were coming back to me. I don't know why. But the only thing that saved me, that stood like a wall between me and that devil, that evil called depression, was my daughter. She was there. She was just there, man. And that was like, I don't know what that was. And she kept fighting them because I was helpless. I had no power. It was her who was fighting those things by just being her. And then that's when I realized, I need to go back to music. If I don't do it, I'm gonna go crazy, just like back in 2012. And then I started working on my album vigorously. And I was like, I need to do this. And God gave me strength. God gave me discipline, because an album is the hardest thing to finish. If you're a musician, you know what I'm talking about. I mean, people are releasing singles these days. I've finished 17 songs, and each one is a song that can be the driver of the whole album. No song is a filler.
Yeah.
Every song can be the main song, and I'm really proud of it. Thank God, thanks to my daughter, man.
Yeah.
Thanks to my family.
I have a daughter too, so I know exactly what you're talking about. I mean, these are the angels who are sent to save us.
Exactly.
That's the way it is. Let's talk about the collaborations on the album. Now, Lisa Mishra is on it.
Yes.
And I remember her being on the reprise version of Tarifa.
Yes.
And I was like, where did she come from? And I find out that she was on Sonam's Instagram timeline. Sonam makes a call. And
I actually discovered her.
You did? Okay.
Yeah, let's give the credit where it's due, man. So I was Tarifa like blew up,
Yeah.
right? And then a lot of people were making covers, and which was fabulous, because I'm not the best singer for that song, because that song can be done in a million ways, And then I was going through, and then there was this girl, Lisa. She blew my mind away. And then I tagged Sonam and Riya, and the next day they were like, the people like Sonam were commenting on the people, like just random people, man, from the industry, even Karan. Everyone was like commenting on the video. Her comments were filled with blue ticks. I was like, wow. And then Riya called her up. Riya was like, you need to come down here. We're going to make a reprised version for this, and you're going to be in the video. And she is now here. She's living. She signed with this agency called Matrix, and she's doing really great. So I put her on the album because Riya was like, she's here. I was like, I think I can use her. And she's killed it.
What are the chances? A data analyst from Chicago, you find her on Instagram and she just blows up. But you obviously understand her voice, because right up there is just the right, R&B to your rap.
Yeah.
Is just coming together so beautifully, and it sits right at the top. Couple of songs of the album, and it really drives it forward.
Yeah.
Talk to me about the song.
Okay, so she comes from Chicago. She's worked with Chance, the rapper.
Yeah.
She's worked with Big Sean, and she understands the 90s R&B that I'm into, because she was into it as well. We happen to share a lot of favorites, and I sent her the beat. I was like, this is the beat, and I want you to write something in English. I want you to write something. She was like, I'm not good in Hindi or Punjabi. I was like, no, just go for English, because that is going to be the most heartfelt thing. So within 10 minutes, she was like, doing this, and then the lyrics are by her, the composition is hers, and I was like, just come down, record it. Yeah.
Boom.
Yeah.
And Ashik Awara with Sunidhi.
Oh man.
Beautiful song. I'm just wondering, did you and Sunidhi become buddies over Dil Hai Hindustani?
Yes.
And was that when you just floated the idea, saying, listen, I'm doing an album, why don't you come and do this track?
Okay, so I always had this respect and this sort of distance, because she's Sunidhi Chauhan. Yeah. So Dil Hai Hindustani gave me an opportunity to sit beside her. But that's a huge opportunity. So she was like, dheere dheere maam khule fir mere saath, and she was like, we should do a song. I was like, "Nah, she must be kidding, man. I mean, why would she do a song with me?" And then थोड़ी देर बाद फिर कहते कि we must do a song. And then I was like, I've got this song which I want you to hear. It was a rough version at that point of time. I made her listen to it, and she instantly fell in love with the song. She was like, "Did you compose it?" I was like, "Yeah." She was like, "This is one of the most beautiful compositions I've ever heard." I was like, "Ma'am, you're just being nice." I didn't tell it to her. I thought, "Ma'am, she's just being kind, man." I mean, But then the next day, she was in the studio. She sang the whole song in like 20 minutes flat, and she was taking instructions from me. She was in the booth recording. I was on the console recording her and crying because the moment was so overwhelming. Her son was out there as well. Such a touchwood, man. And it was all just very organic. And she took the song to I don't know what level, and yet retained the whole vibe of the song, which to me was a blessing, man. And it is actually a lot of people, this is their second favorite song. A lot of people share. Okay, so there's this commonality. See, for a lot of people, different songs on the album are their favorites, and I'm really happy about it, because otherwise ये होता कि यार ये 5 गाने बकवास हैं, ये 3 गाने अच्छे हैं. But a lot of people have different favorites, so that means a lot of people have felt different things. But the second most favorite song is this common song, Ashika Wara. So yeah.
Is therapy about Yo-Yo Honey Singh, or is it about what you've gone through? I mean, I'm just curious to know, because I'm a big fan of your writing, and I mean writing like this, where you really get into the core of you, and it's actually a very deep song. It's actually quite a disturbing song, and at some levels, it's also very beautiful. Yeah. So, is therapy about Yo-Yo Honey Singh?
Therapy is a sort of self-cleansing for me. When it gets too much. I remember a lot of things were going. Therapy was made in that dark zone. The zone that I'm
2012.
talking. Yeah. No, 2017.
17.
Yeah. The time when when I took a break from music when I was with my daughter. A lot of things were on my heart, on my head, and I was doing good. I was doing great, in fact. A lot of things were driving me. A lot of there were points to prove. I was earning great. I never had so much money in my account, and the hunger. So a lot of things were driving me nuts. I couldn't find my peace, and that's when I realized why am I doing all this? Why am I making music? Do I want to prove a point? Or do I want to earn money out of it? Why am I doing it? What is the reason I'm doing music? Because I don't see myself doing music now because I love music. I think I am distracted now. That's the point of time when I started Bad Fit, my clothing line. When I was thinking about things other than music. And so after I recorded Therapy, I felt light. I was like, now I need
purged your system.
Exactly. Now I need to do something for myself. Now, why? Back in 2005, 2006, why did I make the first song? It was because of me. It was because I wanted to make my music. There were no fans. There was no label. There was no music. There was no film producers. I made a song, and then came the fans, came the films, came the labels. With this album, I feel like that guy. I'm just making it for myself and my listeners. That's it, man. I feel like an independent musician, man.
Can you do some Therapy for us? Because it is one of my favorite tracks on the album.
Oh God, I am going to embarrass myself now. I don't even remember Therapy right now.
It happens with those songs when you just have to get it out. It's on the moment and you go.
Yeah, I just wrote it, just kept it out, and the fact that I haven't performed it anywhere, that is why probably I don't even remember it. I don't listen to it. For a lot of people,
because it'll take you back to that zone.
Yeah, it's for me. It was a cleansing. So what is out there is out of my system now. But it made to the album because the label was like, you need to tell this to the world. People should know. Because I released it on YouTube just like that. One night I recorded it and I released it. And I am getting a lot of messages for therapy. They're like, it's like we see what happened with you. We see, मेरे घर में कलेश है, हर रोज है लड़ाई, उतना अकेला जितना हूँ मैं हाई, मेरे सीए से संभलती नहीं मेरी कमाई, थर्ड क्लास मेरी हरकतें फर्स्ट क्लास करूँ. It's like it's just me, man. Like me naked. That's me. You want to know me, you hear therapy.
I'll take you to happier times now. Do some tarifa for me.
God, that throat. कानों में एक दिल की बात सुनावानी, तेनू हसदा वेख के जगनू मैं भुल जावानी, दस दे किता गल तेनू समझावानी, अब तू छड़ दे ओनू जो है तेरे नां, नखरे क्यों कर दिया मैनू जचदा नहीं, किन्ना सवाल कर दिया ना मैं सुनदा नहीं, होर दस किन्नी तारीफां चाहिदियां तैनू, होर दस किन्नियां तारीफां चाहिदियां तैनू, होर दस किन्नियां तारीफां चाहिदियां तैनू, होर दस किन्नियां तारीफां चाहिदियां तैनू. Oh.
Anybody who sees you in your music videos or on those reality shows is turning around and saying, why didn't he take Karan Johar's offer? Why aren't you acting in that film? I know Diljit is a dear friend of yours and he's doing the film. Now Akshay Kumar is also in it.
Yeah.
But why did you say no, man?
I didn't say no. I'll tell you why. I mean, so the director is a debutant director, Raj Paji. And, so this film started as a small comedy film with they were thinking of getting probably Rajkumar Rao sir, and I don't know, so Akshay Paji was not there, so that's when Karan sir thought of getting me onto the film. But then suddenly there was Akshay Paji, there was Kareena Kapoor, and the film became too big for the director, who was a first timer. He's a great guy, man. He's got so much clarity when it comes to what he wants. But then he was like, Karan sir really wanted me to be on there. Shashank Khaitan, who's also co-producing the film, whose assistant is the director of the film, wanted me to be on there. Akshay Paji was really amused by the idea of just me being on the same poster as he is. He was really happy. But then, he was like, Paji, I want to do justice with you. I know Karan sir want you to be on there, but, there's Akshay Kumar at the other end. And he's a different space, and I don't know if I'll be able to make you act. And I understand. And I told him, I was like, Paji, if I would have been in your place, I would have gone for Diljit Paji. I would have taken no chances because it's your first film. And yeah, man, that's how it was. And it's such a beautiful. For me, a lot of people were like, oh man, Dharma, Dharma, of course. But then for me, it was like, I want the film to be good. I love Dharma, I love Karan, and that's what I want for the family, man. And yeah, it's just, I didn't want it. They offered me it. And then obviously this is this thing, this thing attracts you. But then I was like, cool.
Listen, Will.i.am, is it your tribute to Will.i.am from the Black Eyed Peas?
I just.
Oh, and you've actually spelt it that way on the album. You said ILL.I.am.
Yeah, I just it was my dream to just name a song that. Will.i.am. Just that.
But actually the lyrics also make sense.
Yeah. Yeah. So it was just a dream to have a title like that.
And then now that we've talked about all the ones which are radically different from the Badshah ones, stuff like Therapy and some of the other Heartless that tried the first video, let's come back to the regular Badshah songs on this one.
Yes,
there's She Move It Like is quintessential sexy Badshah.
Yeah, I mean,
I like it. It's got a great groove going there.
Yeah. A lot of people. So I'll tell you a story. I mean, I have told it on a lot of interviews now, but So tomorrow is the day that we have to submit the masters, or else we can't get them on iTunes and other platforms. So tomorrow is the day we have to submit the masters. It's 3 a.m. and I and my engineer Aditya Dev, shout out to Aditya Dev, man, it's all because of you, thank you so much, are struggling to make the master. And मैंने कहा भाई हॉर्लिक्स पीते हैं. In Dubai a lot of people do that, like midnight में रात को जाते हैं वो हॉर्लिक्स वहाँ बहुत पीते हैं. So उन्होंने हॉर्लिक्स बनाया, मैंने हॉर्लिक्स पी. Took me to Dubai somehow, the smell of the malt in Horlicks.
You used to work in Dubai, or
No, just
generally
for the shows. I love Dubai. I mean, Dubai is a big amusement park. So मैंने कहा भाई मेरे दिमाग में ना एक हुक आ रहा है. कहता भाई गलत आइडिया इस टाइम. We have to submit. मैंने कहा नहीं भाई एक बारी बनाते हैं. I swear, not even the 61st minute. 60 minutes, the song was complete. With the beat, with the lyrics, with the singing. The song was complete. And it's become the most loved song on the album. Like everyone is like, oh my god. They don't believe it. They don't believe it took 60 minutes for me to do that song. But that's the truth.
And Light Kar Do Band is, Astha being all sexy.
Yeah, man. Light Kar Do Band is like, she is, man. She is like that.
What's the one you had most fun doing, other than the ones we've talked about? Because, call waiting, peculiarly, you've actually taken the real voice from the cell phone,
Yeah.
which I think was really funny.
There were other things in call waiting as well. There was an actual conversation.
Yeah?
Yeah, so I asked one of my friends to behave like a girlfriend who's cheating, probably. You don't want to tell. It's an open-ended song. It's just, it just addresses a lot of male insecurities. So yeah, there was a whole chunk of conversation which we deleted from the song. We were like, too intimate, man. But I had a lot of fun because it's just like therapy. It's like it's got a different. There is no beat. There's just industrial, reverbial, hip hop, new age sound, and then there's just me auto-tuning myself into your hearts.
Why do you call it One, Badshah?
A lot of reasons. One, because of my love with Radio 1.
Yo!
One stands for Original Never Ends. It also stands for the numerical 1 because it's my first album. And also, in my mind, I am at the top of my game right now. 1. There's a lot of reasons for 1. And 1 is a whole number, man. 1 is complete.
Let's do a few questions before we wrap. We have a show called Marriage Made in India. What's the best part about being married for you?
There's someone who looks after you and you can go back home to.
The most beautiful moment of your marriage would be?
I think the vows. Yeah. The vows.
You wrote the vows for each other?
Yeah.
Beautiful. Yeah. What makes Indian marriages different from the rest of the world? Your thoughts on that?
I think just the Sangeet. The rest, everything is same throughout the world. Now.
Do you remember the first house you bought? What was that house? When you were a bachelor or post-marriage or whatever. What is the memory associated with that?
I haven't seen it yet. I bought a house. I haven't seen it yet.
In Bombay?
No, in Delhi. In Mohali, Punjab.
That's your first one? Yeah?
I haven't seen it yet.
Somebody's bought it and you just kept it there.
I bought it. I paid the installments. That was my first house. And, the installments were like for 5 years. I haven't seen it yet.
Okay, we're going into the festive season. First Raksha Bandhan and then Dasera and then eventually Diwali. Raksha Bandhan, what it means to you? Do you have any sisters, Mohboli bands who send you Rakis?
I've got a sister, younger sister. Raksha Bandhan for me is like, the time I spend with my sister because she's away, she's married, she lives in Sweden and she comes down for Raksha Bandhan. So it's going to be a lot of fun, family get together, that sort of a thing.
In Delhi or Chandigarh, did you ever see a Ravan Dahan? As in like, Ravan being burned during the Sera?
Of course, yeah. some Mama ji used to be the chairman of Ramlila committee in Chandigarh. Some Durga Mama. So yeah, I actually collected chanda for Ramlila. Yeah, man.
What is the one thing you look forward to buying during festivals? कहते हैं ना कुछ लोग नया जोड़ा कपड़ा खरीदते हैं दिवाली. Anything that you look forward to? As a child, what you used to look forward to?
For me, every day is a festival. Then, man, I'm a victim. I'm a shopping victim. Festival, I think I'll just go berserk, man. I don't know. I just hope to have a lot of money in my account, man. Just never runs out.
If you had to take a really old friend, reunite with him or her, college friend, school friend, where would it be and where would you go?
I think I'd go back to my school, in my classroom. I just want to sit with them and somewhere be able to tell them, look, man, I made it. F you.
How's your production house doing, man? You're doing Lockdown, which is a show with Raftar and Darshan Rawal and all these boys.
Yeah.
And I believe Ardas, your film, Mandy Thakkar was telling me that, did very, very well.
It got me a lot of money. But then again, for me, money is a resource. And I keep saying that because that's what it is for me. And production house is doing extremely great. We just released Lockdown, the first episode, got a great response. Touchwood, we're already in talks with Z5 for the next season. But it was a huge learning experience because, web content is very different from what's already out there. Films, my second film is going on floor on September the 10th. It's a Punjabi film. We are in talks with Sony Pictures for Hindi films. A lot happening, man. A lot happening.
Brother, I wish you all the best.
Thank you.
Lots of love.
Thank you so
and what an album you've given us.
Thank you so much.
This is one of those things that, I'm going to sit with a malt in hand on the evenings and just blast.
That is what, it's a body of work. You need to soak it in.
Totally, brother.
Just like the single malt.
Thanks, Badshah.